Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And it's time for another daily dose of dismal Disney. We've got some comments being made by furrier Bob Chapek regarding Magic Key, which is their annual
they
pass
didn't
replacement.
say Magic Key, but it's pretty obvious they mean Magic Key and the unfavorable attendance mix.
Unfavorable attendance mix, and also word on the street is more price hikes coming to Disney. Of course.
I said you can count on three things: death, taxes, and Disney price hikes.
And us dunking on Disney daily.
Okay, so four things.
Four things. So we're going to talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Over 274,000 subs.
Yay!
Thank you so much for the support. We talk about Disney, having worked in and around the company for a number of years, and running piratesandprincesses.net. Geeky runs that. We've run multiple Disney blogs. We're very familiar with the parks, and we actually threw this at Disney about 8 years ago?
Yeah.
Crimson Wren Volume 1 getting ready to launch on Indiegogo. You can go out to Indiegogo and be notified when this launches from Clownfish Studios. So let's talk about the unfavorable attendance at Disneyland.
Yeah, so apparently they had their investor call yesterday for Q3, and they were going on about how it's 70% increase in parks and in their division. They consolidated those. So that's merchandise and stuff too. And I guess that 10% increase at Walt Disney World because of the stupid Genie Plus, but Disneyland didn't. It was offset by the losses at Disneyland due to the unfavorable attendance mix.
Unfavorable attendance.
And what that most likely means that people are taking offense to is that it's the Magic Key, because the Magic Key is Disneyland's version of their annual pass program.
Right.
Now remember, they rolled it out last August. The people that did it early, they're going to run out at the end of this month, and they have been saying they're going to give them a renewal information. They haven't done it yet. Not saying they won't, but I expect if they do, hikes and more blackout dates, so it's less attractive to people to buy the Magic Key, because they want you to buy daily passes because they make a lot more money that way.
Right.
So they're unfavorable, and people do not like being called unfavorable
Or fat.
Yeah. So,
or fat.
Yes, I mentioned that with Christine McCarthy making that faux pas the other day. So on Twitter, people are responding.
All right, so we've got Katrina Manzone. No longer Magic Key. We are now the unfavorables. This is
I thought that was funny.
The deplorables. Susan Smith, Disney might also note declining magic at the parks with staff only partly trained before being shoved out into their jobs. We've talked about this before.
Yeah, we've seen it at Disney World too.
Post-pandemic Disney is different than pre-pandemic Disney for sure. Magic Key holders snap up dining reservations and merch instantly, so doubt that excuse. Hashtag
Yeah, they
Disney.
keep trying to make the excuse that, pass holders don't spend as much money. And they don't stay in the hotels that are overpriced. And sometimes they don't buy the food that's overpriced. But whenever there's a new event, there's a new cupcake, there's new merchandise, they're the people that come in and buy it. I guarantee you pass holders are the ones coming in and buying the bags full of merchandise that are going on to eBay.
Yeah.
So they spend a shit ton of money.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you look at an annual pass, and I'm not sure where they are in Disneyland now, but where are they, like $1,200-$1,300 now?
I don't know Disneyland, but yeah, we paid that much for ours at Disney World.
Now, if you go more than a couple of times, it pays for itself, and you've got people that live in Florida that are there every day or every other day or at least once a week, and you multiply that times how many daily tickets you would have sold.
Right, but I think in Disneyland is a little different, because in Disneyland I think there's more pass holders, more locals, or people that are locals. I mean, they're within driving distance to Disneyland and go there a lot. There's a lot of Disney World too, but I think that they're utilized more heavily at Disneyland for the most part, and that's ticket sales. We saw them before with some events. They had openings and stuff, and they blocked out all the annual passes, so you had to buy a ticket if you wanted to go and stuff like that.
Yeah,
pay twice.
That's kind of what happened with Galaxy's Edge too.
You had to pay twice.
Yeah, and Disneyland, it's always been more of a localist park. It's like a local family theme park. People travel to Disneyland, but not like they do Disney World.
Yeah, and it's just, I think that's why they're more concerned about pass holders at Disneyland, even though I am thinking they're going to do the exact same thing to Disney World. I can see them getting rid of the passes or raising the prices again. But yeah, so that's what I think they were referring to.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it's bullshit what their excuse is.
Wow, this is a Coffee Master Katie. Wow, everyone, I'm really fed up with the way we were treated at the call yesterday. I'm going to cut up my Magic Key. Wait, we never got physical passes. Yeah, it costs money. It costs money, Katie. If I use my Magic Key to go to Disneyland once per week, my entry fee would be around $23. Of course, they don't want me there.
Exactly.
That's what I was saying. I mean, we've got people that have literally moved to Florida just to go to Disney World as much as they can, and they might be getting in for like $10 a day, depending on how often they go. Kelly, these all sound like people that spend a lot of time in Disneyland. I am not local to Anaheim. I live in Vegas. When I use my Magic Key at Disney, I spend quite a bit of money. Nice to know my money is unfavorable. Unfavorable. Perhaps the unfavorable attendance mix is not Magic Key tickets, but the types. Saturdays seem to be the lightest attended. Yeah, it's the types of people that come in and start punching each other.
But that's at Disney World as much now.
Yeah.
So, they said, so according to Disney's CEO, Magic Key holders don't bring in enough money to the parks. Excuse me, but I spend $50 to $100 on drinks and food each visit. The key holders I know are doing the same. Just let us renew our keys already. They're talking about they don't even. This is right here. This one sums it up. I'm at such a low point right now. I don't even care if Disney lets me renew my Magic Key or not. I'm tired. I'm done. And we're hearing that more and more and more.
Yeah, I mean that's where we've gotten to, and we were kind of ahead of the curve. Now we did have some negative experiences, obviously, that kind of soured our view of Disney, but. Disney coming back from the pandemic is like bizarro Disney.
It is.
It really is.
The one person, we're going to talk about the prices here in a minute, but this was funny. So somebody started making unfavorable mixed merchandise. You're missing, if you do not have an annual pass holder magnet with unfavorable mix on it, like an AP style magnet, you're missing out. You need to do an AP style unfavorable mix magnet. Trust me on this one.
I know we're the unfavorables. They don't. We're at Disney World more than land, but still.
But so that was part of it. The other part is now Chapek could raise prices at Disney again. Now annual price hikes is a given with Disney. I mean, it's a running joke. Sometimes they do it more than once, and it's getting to the place where people can't afford it. Well, apparently, Bob Chapek, after their investor call yesterday, sat down with CNBC to talk about it. Can you scroll down to the quote?
Let's scroll to the quote.
And here's what he said. You can go ahead and read it.
All right. This is my best Bob Chapek.
I don't know. Oh, but real quick, before you do that, did you see he's trying to grow a beard so he doesn't look as much like a thumb, but now he just looks like a hairy thumb?
He looks like a hairy knuckle.
Anyway,
here's a quote from the interview. Well, we always watch our demand. When you're playing a yield game like we are right now and you have the flexibility with our reservation system, I don't. We can move on a dime. We read demand. If demand goes up, we have the opportunity to do that. We have no plans to announce right now in terms of what we're going to do, but again, we operate with a surgical knife here.
So basically, they have their system set up so much so that if there's a little bit more demand than usual, they can jack the prices.
Yes, and that's what they're doing. That's why they have they changed the ticket prices to
by day.
By day, yeah. It's ridiculous. It's like, Tuesday it might be $120, but Thursday it might be $142.
Right, and whatever day, and it used to be, I don't know what it is, whatever day you start your ticket price at is the day that all your tickets cost the same price. So that's what it used to be. I don't know what it is now. But go ahead, we're at a level of sophistication.
We're at a level of sophistication after we took the knife to you to gouge you with our pricing that not only does it maximize shareholder value, but it enables us to provide value to guests, just not the unfavorable ones.
But wait. Isn't that like an oxymoron, though?
It is.
I mean, we're gonna ensure shareholder profit, but value for guests at the same time. You can't have it both ways.
No,
that's not how it works.
You have to You have to bleed the guests to make the shareholders happy.
That's the knife. The scalpel.
That's the knife. It's all up to the consumer. If the consumer demand keeps up, we'll act accordingly, which we've told you. If we see a softening, which we don't think we're going to see, then we can act accordingly as well. You got to get it back up.
So wait. So if the demand keeps up and there's a hard demand for it, they're going to raise the prices. But as soon as it starts to go soft, they're just going to pull out and lower them.
I
really should have thought that one through.
You got to get goofy to do a little fluffing. Getting goofy. That's what that means.
I don't know, but I'm just like, that sounds dirty.
Look, we have told people this for years, right? If you've been listening, and everybody's like, oh, Disney's going to crash and burn. It's like, no, as long as idiots are willing to pay ridiculous money for subpar experiences, Disney's not going to crash and burn. They're not going to learn any lessons.
They're not. And then that's what's happening.
And that's what's going on. I mean, look, we'll talk about this again, Disney's inflation has massively outpaced the rest of the country, the rest of the world. Like, if we were actually living in the real world, what Disney World cost in 1970 would cost 25. It would be 50 cents.
But it's not comparable to inflation, though.
No, it's like 3,000. Was it 3,871%? Somebody had a calculator out there that actually showed what would cost, but I think they were saying that like the Polynesian now would only be like $150, $200 if we were, if it was comparable. But the Polynesian and the Contemporary are like $450.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, and honestly, they're not worth that price. It's insane.
Coke $3.99. No, I think it's more than that now, isn't it?
I think so. It's like $4 and something.
I paid in Galaxy's Edge. I think I paid $6 or $7 for one of those stupid thermal detonator.
There's hardly anything in those.
It's like a 12-ounce Coke.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done that.
Well, our daughter was thirsty. It was very hot, and they know you're very hot and thirsty, and they can charge whatever they want. I remember cans of Coke when I used to go to Disneyland being $1 for a can back in like 89, 90, and I thought that was too expensive because back then you could buy a can of Coke out of a machine for like 35 cents or 50 cents. Those were the days. Back in my day. But yeah, Disney's way more expensive than it's supposed to be. It's ridiculous. But yeah, they're just talking about how they've turned it into a luxury price destination. That is the goal.
But here's the kicker. Here's the problem. It's going to reach a ceiling and it's going to break them because they can only keep charging as long as people are willing to pay it. For example, the Galactic Star Cruiser. I'm not going to pull it up right now, but it's wide open availability. I mean, there's some dates that are sold out, but like September, October, November, December especially, they are like not booked it up at all. They're wide open because they've hit a ceiling. People that wanted to go that were willing to spend that money already went. Other people aren't willing to spend that much money. And what happens is, and they can't fill the rooms. So they're probably going to do some kind of special event or sale to try to offset that. They're getting to a place now where people, recessions are coming. People are not going to spend the money. It's too expensive. It's too confusing. You have a bunch of upcharges now. Depending on what day you go, depends on the ticket price. So it's harder to plan. And then you have if you want to have a good day in the park, you have to buy Genie Plus, and then you have to buy Lightning Lane. You have to schedule around that. And if you want a virtual queue, you have to get up at this time and call, and then try calling again at this time. And it's so convoluted and so hard and so damn expensive. People are starting to cancel their annual passes. I've seen it all over the place. They aren't using them that much because it's too expensive to go. And that's what they're running into. They're going to have to do something.
Calling people names doesn't help.
Yeah.
Calling people fat and saying that they're undesirable. They're an undesirable market doesn't help at all.
Those are unrelated. Not that fat people are undesirable.
No.
Those are two unrelated comments, but yes.
But but I'm just saying, like, the consumer is starting to feel the disdain that Disney actually has for them. You're basically just a cash cow. You're an ATM machine. They want the whales. Not talking about fat anyway, but they want the
whales, but they don't want you to be whales.
Exactly. They want the whales, but they don't want you to be a whale. Yeah.
It's funny. We go to cover stuff for the blog and things, but if we weren't covering it as a business reason, we wouldn't go at all.
I wouldn't go anymore.
It's not worth the money. It's not worth the aggravation.
Even after, I was kind of soured on the parks with, my experience with the media with Disney, I still had a desire to go. Maybe not as much, as kind of a little burnout, but I still liked going to the parks. And the last time we went, I'm like, I'm not feeling this anymore. I'm just really not feeling this anymore. I'm not excited about it. I was there. I'm like, and how much did I pay for this? Oh my God.
And it just keeps going up and up. Yeah. And he's not saying it's going up, but he's basically saying if the demand continues to increase, like we're saying it did with the investor call, we're going to raise the prices.
Oh, absolutely.
And they're going to, and then here's the thing too. You have to keep in mind, they're not getting rid of park pass reservations, okay, which is another big hassle and pain in the ass. They're not getting rid of park pass reservations. So technically, they could limit, and that's what they're doing, I think, with annual pass holders. People have been complaining, too, that they get limited number of, like, if you're an annual pass holder, there's so many spots allotted. If you are a hotel guest, there's so many spots allotted. If you're just a daily ticket person, it's not a hotel guest, there's so many spots allotted. So they keep cutting things like annual pass holders to try to make more room for the daily ticket people to get more money.
Yep.
They can technically say, Oh, well, let's use a round number. We usually have 10,000 spots. It's more than that, but we usually have 10,000 openings. If we lower the openings down to 7,000, we can say, oh, we're almost out of spots, and people will pay more because they want to be part of that 7,000. So they can artificially create a shortage for demand. So there's no way demand's ever going to go down because they're going to deliberately create shortages so they can just keep upping the prices. And then it'll balance out and give them a profit because, well, if things go up $10, $20, if we lose 10% of people, we more than made up for it than what we charged everybody else.
Yeah, they'd rather, again, get more blood out of as few stones as possible.
You want to squeeze those stones.
Squeeze.
But don't worry if it's soft. If it goes soft, they're gonna pull back.
Well, if you squeeze them too hard, they might go soft.
Well, that's what's happening.
Yeah,
that's what's happening. They don't understand. Biology teaches you a lesson here, Disney. Just basic bio. Keep it hard. Don't squeeze the stones too much. And it won't go soft. We're good.
Yeah, and you can keep riding as long as you want to.
That's right.
Ride it out as long as you want. Are we going to wrap this up?
Yes.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.